This is page number 112. Case 3. Boiler load is increased with pumps on standby. At T1 equal to 393 degree Kelvin, one pump is switched off. The deaerator pressure increases and therefore the temperature T1 in the deaerator also rises to say 450 degree Kelvin, 453 degree Kelvin. As the pump is taken off with the line, the suction pipe and the pump itself begin to cool due to heat transfer by radiation and convection of the surroundings. The heat transfer from the deaerator through the water and metal is too small to maintain temperature of 393 degree Kelvin or even heat the source suction pipe. This might be possible only in the zone where the suction pipe leaves the deaerator. Refer figure number 3.1. With at least 1 feet pump still inlet, the following temperature condition prevail. T1 equal to T4, T2 lesser than T1. T2 become relatively lower the longer the pump has been switched off. We can see in the diagram. T1 is deaerator temperature, T2 is suction temperature of boiler feed water pump, T2 is discharge temperature of T2 water temperature, and T4 is the temperature of heat exchanger inlet, and T3 is the metal temperature. So as the diagram, T1 equal to T4, that means deaerator temperature is equal to the inlet temperature of heat exchanger. T1 equal to T4. Then T2 lesser than T1. Deaerator temperature is more than the T2 inlet of the boiler feed water pump. So T2 is lesser than T3. The heat storage of pump is much larger than that of the pipe due to the large mass of the former. The next question. Now, if the ideal pump is switched on again, what problems will occur? Thermoshock in the pump, thermoshock and water hammer in the BFW preheater. Question. How does a HP bypass, high pressure turbine bypass, exert influence on the available NP/SH safety margins? Answer. With a 100% HP bypass, the boiler load must not be reduced following a turbine trip. Thus, the boiler feed pump can continue run the normal operating point at the time of turbine trip. If a smaller HP bypass is installed, example one with a 50% capacity, the boiler and consequently the pumps will be forced to reduce the load to 50% following a turbine trip. That transient pressure decay Vp in the deaerator can be established for such load reduction and compared with the maximum allowable transient pressure decay Vmax per pressure. In order to obtain the available NP/SH safety margin at various loads for different load reduction gradients. Note that for load reduction of say 0.75% per second, the smallest safety margin does not occur at the maximum of the respective curve Vp, which lies about 60% load. This example demonstrates that a turbine trip with a subsequent boiler load reduction can be more critical than a turbine trip without a subsequent boiler load reduction, depending on the load reduction transient and the final load at the end of the load reduction. The source is mentioned here. The next question. What is the normal operating speed range of boiler feed water pumps? Answer to 2500 to 9000 rpm. Question. At what temperature range do BFW pumps deliver hot water? Answer 400 degree to 495 degree Kelvin. Question. A boiler feed water pump delivers waters at 425 degree Kelvin while operating at 3200 rpm. If this pump is switched off, what thermohydraulic phenomenon will occur inside the pump? Phenomenon. Answer. As soon as the pump is switched off, the fluid trapped inside the pump begins to cool. The cooler portion of the fluid inside the pump casing sinks to the bottom because of its higher density, and warmer fluid rises up towards the top. As consequence, a thermosiphon circulation sets in inside the pump. The question: if the boiler feed water pump is barrel type 1, how many such thermosiphon circuits will arise in case of pump stoppage? Answer: 2. One between the barrel casing and stator, and other between stator and rotor. Again repeating, one between the barrel casing and stator, and the other between stator and rotor. In figure 3.3 we will see. So the next question: what are the effects of such double thermosiphon phenomena in a barrel type pump? Answer: the two thermosiphon circuits establish two different temperature differentials, one between the top and bottom of the barrel casing, and a second between the top and bottom of the inner pump body. Such temperature differentials can exceed 80 degree Kelvin within 2 hours. The top casing deforms even under normal operation conditions if the temperature differential between the top and bottom of the casing rises up to 15 degree Kelvin. Therefore, the large temperature differential case the upper portion of the both barrel casing and inner body to become longer than the lower portions. This expansion warp both the casing. This phenomenon is called distortion or hogging, that pushes the bearings downwards. In addition to distortion of the casing, the rotor also begins to deform, similar to the casing, as soon as the hot pump is brought up to stop. This rotor distortion is brought about mainly by affecting of cooling casing by shaft seals, thermosiphon effect around the shaft, and partially by natural stratification of the taper wall. Trapped water. The deformation of the rotor is normally greater than that of the casing. As long as the rotor is not turned, it may not foul with the casing. After it rotates by half a revolution, however, the worst case result is the rotor and the casing is distortion is opposite direction. You will see the figures in further videos. The next question: which other factors influence the above deformation arising from the thermosiphon effect? Answer: the warpage of pump casing is greatly influenced by the location of suction pipe, discharge pipe, balancing water pipe, cooling water pipe, injection water pipe. For instance, the seal injection flows that circulates through the stator cools that part of the pump. The degree of cooling is a function of the mass flow and temperature of the injected water and of the flow cross section and surface. The thermosiphon effect around the shaft is influenced by the type of shaft seal. In particular, the effect depends on control of the injection and cooling water. Question: what are the consequences of distortion induced by thermosiphon effect in the boiler feed water pump? Answer: as a result of distortion, some parts of the rotor will touch parts of the casing, the region of the sealing gaps. In some cases, portion of the rotor are passed against the casing so firmly that it becomes practically impossible to rotate the shaft without applying a large torque. Note: it may take 6 or more hours before the rotor is completely free again. Question: are these effects measurable? Answer: yes, in certain cases these are measurable. That's it now. Thank you.